Texas House Democrats are making new demands this morning as they negotiate their possible return to the state after fleeing over a proposed redistricting plan. The demands include a request for California to formally introduce retaliatory redistricting maps, something California Governor Gavin Newsom teased just yesterday.
I know they say don't mess with Texas. Well, don't mess with the great Golden State. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. We're doing it in reaction to that act.
I want to bring in CBS News political director Fin Gómez to break this down from our D.C. bureau. So the question, Fin, that I have, first of all, let's hammer out what the Democrats are demanding and what would happen to them if they don't return to Tay.
Yeah, Vlad, along with their demands for California Democrats to release their own congressional redistricting map to offset the Republicans in Texas redraw, which is essentially underway by Governor Newsom, and we could expect those new maps as early as today. Texas Democrats have also said they will not return until the current special session called by Texas Governor Greg Abbott ends. Abbott is ending that session early ending it today, actually, but he is immediately calling a new special session with the same agenda, Vlad. Texas Democrats are continuing to face legal threats and penalties. As we reported, civil arrest warrants have been already issued, and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed a lawsuit seeking to remove some of the missing members from offices, and they are facing daily $500 fines for each day they miss. However, Vlad, a top Texas congressional lawmaker, told me this is a political win for Texas Democrats because they have nationalized the issue and have demonstrated their ability to fight back against President Trump and his allies.
So Democrats in Texas are getting support from a former president, but he also gave a warning. Can you explain that?
Yeah, former President Obama stepped into offering a major boost to Texas Democrats who left the state to block the Texas Republican redistricting efforts. Obama held a virtual meeting with Texas House Dems who are currently in Illinois and praised their actions. Take a listen.
We assumed that things would continue to get better, that our democracy would become more inclusive, that it would become more fair, that we'd make it easier for people to vote rather than harder for people to vote, that the votes would be counted rather than suppressed. And what we forgot is that history doesn't always move in a straight line.
Yeah, President Obama also said that their walkout serves as a counter to the systemic assault on democracy, a quote there, and he said inspired others, including California, to take the actions that they have. Vlad?
All right, Fin, I guess for normal folks watching this and wondering what happens in their districts when they periodically change because of gerrymandering, I think some people would just argue or want to know why do Democrats and Republicans gerrymander in the first place if you can't win on the ideas? In other words, Republicans want to gerrymander these seats in Texas. There are some who'd say, well, why don't you just win the voters that are in your district to your policies and your ideas?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, even President Obama in that call with Texas Democrats said that he essentially supported independent commissions to take out that partisan sort of control over these redistricting, this gerrymandering that happens that we're seeing here. But this is all the onus behind this, Vlad, is because President Trump and his allies in Congress essentially are trying to stave off those historical headwinds that we've seen in previous midterm elections. Historically, I think there's only been 2 midterm elections where the party that has not been in power has won. It's typically the party that controls the White House typically loses seats during those midterm elections. So this is where it all begins. But I think there is a call, and you've seen that in some of the polling that we've seen, for more independent efforts to create these congressional maps. Vlad?
Really interesting. All right, Fin Gómez, thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.